Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the wild, weird corners of history, those moments that make you laugh, cringe, and wonder how humanity survived it all. Today, we're counting down the top 10 foods from the past that weren't just unappetizing, they were straight-up killers. Imagine if your grandma's apple pie came with a side of slow-motion doom. That's the vibe here. We'll unpack each one like a mystery box, full of gritty details, a dash of dark comedy, and lessons that hit harder than a bad hangover. Stick around till the end for a twist that might just save your next snack. Let's jump in, starting with number 10. Number 10. Formaldehyde-Spiked milk. The sneaky sweetener in your breakfast bowl. Close your eyes and transport yourself to a dusty kitchen in 1890. A wide-eyed child tugs at the tablecloth, eyes lighting up at the promise of a frosty glass of milk to chase down those morning flakes. But here's the gut punch. That creamy elixir? It was laced with the very stuff used to keep corpses fresh at the mortuary. Yeah, we're talking formaldehyde, the chemical embalmer's best friend, stirred right into dairy like it was a harmless flavor boost. The twisted genius of it? This poison didn't just preserve, it tricked the taste buds, turning the milk into a deceptively sugary delight. Little ones clamored for seconds, mistaking toxin for treat, while oblivious parents served up what amounted to a daily dose of danger. In one heartbreaking chapter in Indiana, this embalmed milk epidemic claimed over 400 young lives. Picture empty swings creaking in the wind, all because breakfast became a battlefield. And hold on, because the plot thickens like spoiled cream. Before formaldehyde stole the spotlight, milk barons got crafty in even creepier ways. They'd toss in plaster powder to fake that pristine white glow, or mash up bits of calf brains for an artificial richness that fooled the eye. A gritty 19th century newspaper expose, it revealed samples crawling with worms, stray twigs, strands of hair, and brace yourself lumps of bovine waste. So, the next time you wrinkle your nose at a carton teetering on its sell-by date, give it a mental high five. At least today's rejects don't come pre-seasoned with mortuary magic and a manure garnish. History's got a way of making modern gripes feel like gourmet upgrades. Number 9. Ancient Egypt's gritty loaf. The chew that crumbled empires. Smiles. Fast forward or rewind, really to the sun-baked Nile Valley, where pharaohs ruled and bread was the backbone of every meal. But this wasn't the fluffy sourdough of your dreams, it was a treacherous trapdoor to tooth-shattering agony. Envision sinking your chompers into what should be sustenance, only for a sharp crack to echo like thunder in your mouth, not from a rogue pit, but from pebbles baked straight into the dough. Blame the mills. Those ancient stone grinders shed flecks of grit with every turn, blending invisible demolition derby debris into the flour. And Egypt, that endless sea of golden dunes, it conspired too, whipping sandstorms that dusted the mix like unwanted confetti. Each nibble felt like gargling gravel, a relentless grind that sanded down enamel day in, day out, until teeth stubs peeked out like worn-down pencils. The fallout? Raw nerves screaming in protest, turning every breath into a wince. Multiply that torment across your whole mouth, with zero Novocaine or floss in sight, and this dragged on for millennia. Infections? They weren't ifs. They were whens. Swollen jaws ballooned like overripe fruit, pus-riddled plagues crept toward the skull, and what started as a nibble ended in a dirt nap. No wonder their mummies sport grins that scream survivor's remorse. Desperate for relief, these sand-scarred souls whipped up their own dental hacks, a paste of pulverized pebbles, salty herbs, and who knows what else. Because if life's force-feeding you rocks, why not double down and brush with boulders? It's the kind of logic that makes you chuckle through the chills, proof that even geniuses pyramid builders can get backed into a gritty corner. Number 8. Victorian arsenic treats. The pretty poison on your plate. Now, let's waltz into a gaslit parlor in 1850 England, where corsets cinch and conversation sparkles sharper than crystal. But beneath the lace and laughter, dinner parties hid a venomous secret. You're offered a slice of cake, its emerald hue so lush it practically hums with envy-inducing vibrancy. Who could resist? Yet that glow came courtesy of Shields Green, a cocktail of arsenic and copper that turned confections into covert assassins. Bakers, chasing that wow factor, slathered this lethal tint over cakes, chewy candies, shimmering jellies, and even kiddie birthday surprises. It wasn't hidden knowledge. Folks knew arsenic felled foes in folk tales, but wrap it in ribbons of allure, and suddenly it's dessert. One poor soul, a teenage confectioner, learned the hard way not by tasting, but by inhaling the fumes while crafting those verdant vices. He retched for days, a walking warning label in a frilly era. The madness didn't stop at sweets. This arsenic allure bled into wallpapers that wept toxins in damp rooms, gowns that whispered death with every sway, and faux blooms that perfumed parlors with peril. Victorians were steeped in it, devouring, draping, dreaming amid a haze of slow-burn sabotage. Small wonder their lifespans skimped on the long part. They were essentially slow cooking in a stylish stew of slow poison. It's like choosing heels that blister because they match the curtain's beauty with a bite that lingers eternally. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 7. World War I's rhubarb fiasco. The patriotic poison, pushed by the crown asterisk asterisk, shift to the fog-shrouded trenches of 1917 Britain, where rations rattled and resolve ran thin. Food lines snaked like desperate serpents, and in a stroke of bureaucratic blindness, officials eyed the rhubarb patch with misguided glee. Why harvest just the stalks for tarts, they pondered aloud, when those lush leaves wave like untapped treasure. It was the culinary equivalent of mistaking a grenade for a piñata. Those verdant tops, nature's keep-out sign, brimming with oxalic acid, a fiendish foe that hijacks kidneys, paralyzes muscles, and ravages guts like an internal wildfire. Yet posters plastered town squares, broadcasts crackled with calls to arms. Devour those leaves for the win. Citizens, hearts swelling with duty, stewed pounds of the stuff, envisioning victory pies instead of venom vials. They boiled, baked, and bragged, saluting the flag with every forkful, unwitting warriors in a war on their own wellness. No lab coats checked the fine print. It was straight from strategy sessions to supper tables, a national nudge toward nausea. Imagine the dinner debates. Darling, pass the heroic greens for king and kidney failure. In the end, it wasn't enemy fire that felled some, it was friendly foliage, turning homefront heroism into a hazardous harvest. War's weirdest weapon? Your vegetable drawer. Weaponized. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 6. Franklin's Arctic Cans. The lead laden larder of doom asterisk, asterisk. Sail back to 1845, when Sir John Franklin's fleet sliced through icy waves like knights in tin armor. These vessels brimmed with innovation. Charts charting uncharted realms, gear gleaming with promise, and pantries stuffed with tin triumphs meant to mock the months of freeze. But those gleaming guardians, they harbored a hushed horror sealed not with safety, but gobs of lead solder that wept into every open tin. Each supper became a stealthy sabotage, proteins and preserves marinating in metallic menace, transforming meals into mind, muddling elixirs. Stranded amid the flows, crews cracked cans under aurora glows, oblivious as lead laced their bites, dulling wits like frost on a windowpane. Decisions turned foggy, plots veered wild, tempers frayed as the element eroded resolve, fostering phantoms of paranoia in the perpetual night. Decades on, when thaw revealed their tomb, forensics unveiled the felony, bones brittle with burden, follicles filthy with the foe. One crewman, John Torrington, withered from vigor to vapor, his frame a frail echo of vitality, poisoned payload claiming what polar perils spared. This pinnacle of progress, a portable plague, each pop-top a packed with peril. It's the ultimate irony. Explorers felled not by the wild, but by the ware they wielded, proving even the best laid larders can lead you astray. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 5. Mummy dust remedies. Europe's dusty dose of the departed asterisk, asterisk. Peel back the velvet curtains of medieval apothecaries, from the 12th century through the Enlightenment haze. Ailments abounded, aches in the dome, twists in the tum, pangs of the heart and the go-to balm. A pinch of pulverized pharaoh. Ground Egyptian remains flew off shelves like the hottest herbal trend, stocked in every healer's nook, doled by docs to dukes and dames alike. It sparked from a linguistic slip. Old scrolls sang of mumia, a balm of bitumen black, but translators twisted it to mean the wrapped wonders themselves, so merchants mined tombs, milling millennia-old meat into medicinal mush. Supplies scarce? No sweat, enterprising souls whipped up vintage vibes with fresh cadavers, peddling Pete the plumber as Ptolemy's kin. Patrons pondered ancient essences, unaware they supped on the recently room temperature, the absurdity amplified in art. Mummy brown pigment, birthed from the same source, let painters portray with the past, on, daubing walls with whispers of the wrongfully woken, ingesting embalmed enigmas, laced with lethal preservatives and lurking lurkers from lost eras. It healed zilch, naturally unless your cure-all included curses or cramps. Who'd have thunk chomping a curse from the crypt wouldn't chase away that crick in your neck? History's pantry of panaceas, served with a side of should have known better. Asterisk. Asterisk. Number 4. Gladiator Gulp. Rome's Arena. Fresh vitality. Vile asterisk asterisk. Thunder rolls through the Colosseum. Crowds roar like a living storm. And in the crimson dust, victors and vanquished spill secrets of strength. But post-pageant, the real rush wasn't for laurels. It was for the leavings. Epileptics and the enfeebled. Their RX was ruddy and raw. A steaming swig of warrior's lifeblood, harvested hot from the melee. This wasn't fringe folly. Tomes of toga, clad physicians penned protocols, praising the pilfer as power in liquid form. Rationale? Simple as it was senseless. Fighters forged in fury must forge fortitude in followers. It's akin to slurping a sprinter's sweat for speed, sympathetic sorcery at its bloodiest. Spectators surged sansward, chalices clutched like conquests, scooping spurts before they soaked the stage. Dosage? A trio of tablespoons daily, for a lunar cycle of supposed supremacy. When spectacles shuddered, thirst didn't quench. It quested anew, lapping from lawbreakers' last stand's outlaw ooze as understudy to arena amber. No notion of types or taints, just a gamble with germs in antiquity's germ soup. Cure? Nay, a carousel of contagions, spinning suppers into sepulchres. What could go awry in a world where wellness wore the face of the fallen? Rome's recipe for resilience? Risky, red, and ridiculously retro. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 3. Roman lead liqueur, the empire's sugary slumber. Serum asterisk asterisk. The eternal city pulsed with palates primed for pleasure, but their go-to glaze? A gilded grenade that gnawed at nobility's noggins. Enter sapa. Grapes simmered to syrup in leaden vats, emerging as ambrosia amplified sweeter than stolen kisses. A siren song in saucepans. Yet the pot's payload leached in, birthing lead acetate. A velvet venom that veiled its vice in vanilla allure. Romans reveled, drizzling it over vintages, velvety reductions, confections for the cradle and crown. Elites especially indulged, the wealthier the wallet, the wider the waistline of woe senators supping slow suicide with every spoonful. Envision edicts etched amid escalating haze, legions launched on lead, logged logic, statutes scrawled by synapses short-circuiting like frayed forums. Scholars speculate this synaptic sabotage scripted the spotlight steals Caligula crowning his cult consul, Nero noodling as the Nile of flames licked the skyline. Not innate nuttiness, perhaps, but neurotoxic nudge, chroniclers cautioned, scrolls screaming steer clear, but sweet teeth trumped sage words. Who needs warnings when whimsy whispers one more dip? The upshot? An empire's edge eroded from within, one luscious lick at a time, a metaphor for hubris, honeyed and hazardous. Asterisk asterisk. Number 2. Ergo. Infested rye, the loaf that lit hallucinations and limbs. Aloft asterisk asterisk. Dim the lights to a damp medieval hamlet, where hearth fires flicker and rye fields whisper warnings unheeded. Bread, that humble hero, hid horrors. A purpled plague of ergot, rye's rascal roommate, sprouting spores that mimicked magic mushrooms minus the mercy psychedelics spiked with gangrenous grit. Villagers victualled unwittingly. Dawn's dough devolved into delirium by dusk. Breakfast birthed bedlam, visions of vipers and voids, skins aflame with phantom pyres, whales weaving through thatch as unseen beasts burrowed. But the buzzkill? Beyond the buzz, blood vessels betrayed extremities iced to ink, tingling to torment, then horror unbound shedding like autumn's aftermath. Sans scalpels sigh. One French flare-up? 40,000 felled? Hamlets hollowed by harvest's hidden hammer, a fungal fiasco felling foes faster than famine. Dubbed St. Anthony's fire, it scorched sans flame. Supplicants splashed in streams, shrieking for solace from spectral searing, as flesh frayed to farewell. It's the ultimate bad trip, from table to terror, proving sometimes the staff of life staffs you straight to the shadows. Who knew your daily slice could script a symphony of screams? Asterisk asterisk. Number 1. Radium-infused elixirs. The 20s radiant ruin in a bottle. Asterisk asterisk. Cue the Jazz Age's jazzy jig, Flappers flounce, speakeasies simmer, and shelves shine with Radithor radium radicalized H2O, peddled as sun in a sip for stamina and senescence's scorn. Dubbed liquid daylight, it lured the languid with vows of vigor unending, folks guzzling gallons like gospel. Enter Eben Byers, tycoon turned test subject. 3 flagons daily, toasting to pep till his profile peeled. Radium jaw, medics murmured a mandible meltdown, bone bits buckling like brittle biscuits. His exit? Epitaph in ink. The radium brew did fine till his mandible went AWOL, interred in leaden luxury, lest his luminosity light the lamenters. But Byers was but a blip. Radium romped rampant toothpastes, twinkling grins ghostly, creams caressing with carcinogenic caress, locks lathered luminous, even intimate inserts irradiating innards, chocolates crackled, smokes smoldered with sparkle, suppositories supplanting sense, pitches purred perpetual youth, reality? Ruinous radiance, skeletons sagging, sepulchres sealed special, glow? Granted, but at glowworm's grave price. The roaring era's real roar? A radioactive rumble, reminding us, tomorrow's tonic is often today's tombstone. Whew, what a whirlwind through history's hazardous helpings from milky mortuary mixes to glowing grave juice. If these tales tickled your trivia bone or turned your tummy, drop a comment. Which one would you dodge first? Hit that bell, share with a snack skeptic friend, and let's unearth more oddities together. Until next time, chew wisely, your future self's got teeth to keep.